Welcome back to Market Watch. I'm your host, Colin Edsman, and what an end to the week. Did you see the VIX yesterday? It got somewhere near 30. It's only done that 3 or 4 times in the last couple of years? Insanity. Also, as you can see, Robinhood Ventures traded officially yesterday, and it didn't go as well as we probably would have hoped. Down 15% as far as I checked it. Which is pretty bad, but it's not their fault. The overall market wasn't doing too well. There were a couple of runners, but they were odd. Like we got a Novo Nordisk and Hims and Hers partnership, and Hims and Hers ran 40%. Bananas. Oil prices over $90 a barrel on the futures. We're going to see something insane. Could we be in some kind of crypto winter? Maybe. I don't think it's going to stay at this bottom area forever. It's basically been trading kind of sideways, right? And the longer it trades sideways, the more likely we got a good support. So we're going to see some upward movement in the coming months.
Of Blockstream, and known for inventing Hashcash, the system that became the foundation for Bitcoin mining. Adam, great to have you with us.
Well, thanks for having me on.
I want to get your take on what's going on with Bitcoin. It seems like all of the right things are happening for the Bitcoin story in terms of the legislative sort of arena, the regulatory environment seems to be good for Bitcoin. The investment case is good for Bitcoin in terms of institutional investors coming in. There are all sorts of products tied to Bitcoin. Why is it down so much?
Well, I think the markets generally have been off based on geopolitical uncertainty and news flow about tariffs and things like that. So Bitcoin has followed that. I think in the short term, Bitcoin follows along. In the long term, it's decorrelated, basically. So I think it's just a longer term view.
In all of that garble, it's boiling down to uncertainty. And that's been shown across the market as a whole. Robinhood is down 50% from all-time highs, along with a lot of other stocks that should be a lot higher. Even coming in with great earnings, they still took a bit of a hit. On the news, uncertainty, there's so many things going on geopolitically, as well as software stocks taking a bit of a hit on Claude and Claudebot being sort of a disruptor. We're going to see what's going on as far as the Anthropic realm goes. Lots to cover on this Saturday. Let's get started. Robinhood Ventures. Our very first time an everyday investor can invest in private companies that haven't gone public yet. This is some uncharted territory in a lot of ways. We're going to keep it simple here. It's an accredited type of thing that you need to have to be able to invest in private companies before they go public. And usually that requires a lot of money. What Robinhood Ventures Fund 1 aims to do is give the everyday person exposure to private markets. And that usually gets a lot of gains. There's a lot of notable stories of how people were able to invest in companies that haven't gone to public market yet and have made hundreds of millions of dollars off of that kind of thing. Akin to buying Apple at 10 cents before it went public and making who knows how much money off of that kind of trade. With that being said, of course, this is a very volatile market. It's almost like a meme coin. You never know if a company does well enough to even go public, right? So you're taking a bit of a long shot, right? So you can't expect this fund to trade, well, logically, I guess, right? So be careful with this sort of thing. We don't know what's going to do yet. Personally, I have high hopes. This has never been done before, and I think it go really well, to the point where other companies start catching wind of this sort of thing and making their own. I don't see why not. They can pick their own basket of funds and make their own closed-end fund just like this one, which would help the entire market as a whole. The goal being to get money into these companies' hands so they can innovate, they can build, they can invest, they can grow. So we can help them grow and they help us by, growing whatever we invested, right? It's a win-win situation for everybody. But always take into consideration the risks, right? There's always risks with investing. Don't be throwing your rent at it. That's craziness, right? Go at it a little bit, see what it does. We don't know yet. We don't know what the kind of price action we're going to get out of this. It has nothing to compare to. We're going to have to watch for a little while, buy a little bit more over time. Who knows? We got to keep our eyes open, head on a swivel. The market's very uncertain, and Robinhood is very good at unveiling something during an uncertain time. Robinhood strategies came out the day after the tariffs with China blew the VIX over 30, 40, right? Somewhere around April 5th is when they unveiled it. So we're about to get a bottom and maybe a huge rip after this. I'm optimistic. All right, so if you're sitting out there listening and wondering what the VIX is, I'm going to give you a small little crash course. My goal has always been to try to get new investors into the market so you guys can learn and grow your wealth. Here's the VIX. Now, the SIBO Volatility Index tracks the overall volatility or market movement on the S&P 500. I use it very simply. There are a lot of ways to use it in complicated ways. You can also trade this index, which I don't do usually. I kind of use it as a day-to-day indicator to kind of see what's going on and how much market movement I'm expecting. Over my time of trading, which hasn't been all that long, I've noticed that when the VIX goes up, the market comes down. But this is a pretty violent spike. The VIX is usually under 20, over 15, right? That's kind of a good steady area. The last time it was in that area, the S&P 500 was on a good upward momentum. But once it started hitting that kind of 7,000 area and is basically trading sideways, all we've been getting is a higher and higher VIX, which was telling me that the markets were moving more and more into an uncertain territory. So selling was happening. Now, that doesn't always mean everything is bad for everybody. Sometimes the VIX will cause so much movement and it'll cause a company to go up way more than usual, right? So it's more the swing you'll get up or down is what it's tracking. Yes, I know, you're probably feeling pretty bad right now. Your portfolio is probably red and you don't know what's happening. It's okay. A lot of us are feeling that way. We'll be back soon. I'm hearing the term crypto winter being thrown around all over the place, and I have been for months. Now we know winters don't last forever. Now, could Bitcoin keep falling? Sure. It had lots of chances to already, but we're still here in a decent area. I don't think it's much of a crypto winter as more as an overall uncertainty in the market. I think we'll be back real soon. Do your due diligence, do your very best to dollar cost average, and remember, bulls and bears make money. Pigs get slaughtered. Take your profits, keep yourself safe, and as always, a hui ho, farewell, and I'll see you on the porch.